Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a bold burglar identified by police, while investigators say the suspect returned to the scene of the crime. And leaders with one southeastern Kentucky school are working to help as many folks as possible sign up for their FAFSAs with the new school year on the horizon.
Temperatures today were in the low 90s, but there is relief somewhere on the 7-day. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
They are a business known for building sandwiches, but police in Southern Kentucky say it is what a thief left behind that helped them build a solid case against him. That thief made a big mistake when breaking into a Corbin Subway sandwich shop. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on how police identified their suspect.
Employees at the Subway and the Trademark Shopping Center noticed the business had been broken into overnight.
It showed a single male subject entering the premises through the drive-through window at roughly 2 a.m. He left with both cash register boxes.
While there, the store manager says she believes the thief climbed into the ceiling to try to disconnect the video surveillance system. He didn't know it at the time, but he dropped his phone, and about an hour and a half later, he went back to get it, only he didn't find it.
He came back at 3:30 a.m. and made a sandwich while he was inside and then left again.
Without his phone that the manager later found and police used to identify the thief.
You can't make stuff like that up. It had to be drug related. I mean, I can't imagine that anyone in the right state of mind would have left their cell phone to begin with, but then when they came back and couldn't find their cell phone, just decided to make a sandwich before they left.
Police have identified this man as Timothy Randolph, and they say that they've also been able to determine that he has visited several homeless camps in the area. In Corbin, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
As of now, police have not been able to locate Randolph, and he is still on the run with charges pending against him. The man accused of killing a Laurel County police officer in a drunk driving incident almost 2 years ago is now on trial in Warren County after requesting a change of venue. This video just in from the courtroom in Bowling Green this afternoon. The courtroom was closed to the media earlier today as the jury for Casey Bird was selected. Now, we do understand opening statements did get underway with Special Judge Gregory Lay out of Laurel County. Bird is facing multiple charges, including murder of a police officer. In Buchanan County, Virginia, a man is facing a felony charge after police found another man with stab wounds. On Sunday afternoon, police received a call about a fight that happened on Deer Trail Road in the Van Sant community. After arriving, police found 43-year-old Robert Bruce Jones with stab wounds. Whitney J. Owens was arrested and charged with maliciously stabbing with intent to maim, disfigure, disable, or kill. A Laurel County man is behind bars in connection with an attempted burglary. Police were dispatched to a home north of London on Saturday, where they were told by a 911 caller that the man was beating on the front door and trying to pry open a window. That home was occupied by a woman. Witnesses also say 62-year-old Arlo Harris tried to break into multiple cars nearby. Harris was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. In Campbell County, Tennessee, officials with the TBI say a Campbell County man has been charged with murder after a body was found inside a vehicle last month. TBI officials say Audie Green was found dead along Highway 25 West back on July 17th. During the course of that investigation, the TBI says it was determined Joshua Cox had been a passenger in the vehicle and, quote, was the person responsible for Green's death.
Well, as advertised, we had temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s in some places, especially over towards the Somerset area. Had temperatures, or heat indices, I should say, in the upper 90s and low triple digits. Here's the latest with live pinpoint Doppler radar right now. All is quiet across eastern Kentucky. In terms of rainfall, there's a little bit of a rain chance as we go into the day on Thursday, but it's going to be a very splash and dash variety. Right now we have temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. Monticello, you were at 94 earlier with a heat index of 106. Your temperature is now down at this hour. Same story in Jacksboro. Otherwise, again, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. The heat index, though, Lexington's dropped a couple of degrees down to 98, 102 in Ashland, 95 Prestonsburg, 92 Pikeville, 95 in Jonesville, and 96 in Harlan. So when you wake up in the morning, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, but there is relief somewhere as we go throughout the week. It's in the form of a cold front. We'll talk about that in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thanks. Redbird Christian School is hosting its annual Back to School Bash tonight. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares how school officials are working to extend part of the bash in the community.
As the school year begins, leaders with Redbird Christian School are welcoming back their Cardinal family.
It's Back to School Bash, and we're so excited. We do this every year. It's an opportunity for us to get excited about the school year that's ahead, reconnect with our families, with our students.
Principal Jennifer Wilder says this year is different for them as they are helping students figure out the next step after school.
We're coordinating a college fair with our Back to School night and the FAFSA tailgate.
School counselor Melanie Adams says with a $3,000 grant from the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, they're able to host events to help people fill out their applications.
We don't want to let a piece of paper or just an electronic application stand in someone's way from going to college. A lot of times there's a fear there.
Saying people do not have to go through the process alone.
And go on to school, whether it be technical school, trade school, college, whatever it is. We want to make sure that there's no obstacle that's in their way. And especially in this area that we live in, there's so many obstacles like poverty and transportation issues. There doesn't need to be any other obstacle. We want to take that barrier down.
To continue their mission of serving the community. In Clay County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Adam says students are not the only ones that can sign up to get help filling out the FAFSA, adding that you can contact the school if you do need help with those forms. Officials with the Knox County Sheriff's Department have some safety tips they want you to know about with the new school year approaching. They say to never pass a stopped school bus from behind or any other direction. They say to stop at a far enough distance away from the school bus to allow children the ability to enter and exit the bus safely, and to refrain from distracted driving, which includes texting behind the wheel. With Vice President Kamala Harris choosing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate for this year's election, what's next now for Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear? Even though he was not chosen to be her running mate, he could still play a pivotal role on the campaign trail.
It would not be surprising to me that he isn't contender for a cabinet position, or if there's even something that they discuss about possibly down the road running in 2028 or 2032. It's hard to stay a bright shining light in your state on a national scale for that long. He's got to do something to keep his name sort of being relevant if that's what he wants to do.
Governor Beshear released a statement earlier today on social media saying that Kentucky is in his DNA, that he loves his job and his family, and that he's right where he's supposed to be. Family and friends gathered at Church of the Resurrection in Harlan County to say goodbye to Mike Obradovich. Obradovich lived in Lynch and was a coal miner, historian, and more. He died on Friday at 77 years old. Friends agree Obradovich is a special person who will be missed not only by those close to him, but all who had the chance to meet him.
I noticed Mike in one thing, that he could just relate to so many young people and teach them about the heritage of what Lynch is and what it meant to him.
Arrangements were handled by Tri-Cities Funeral Home. We'll have much more on Mike Obradovich and that bulldog room that you see there tonight at 11.
All right, here we go. Weather headlines for tonight. That heat's going to continue. There's some relief somewhere on the 7-day forecast and a taste of fall, aka football weather. We'll talk about that in the first alert forecast in a few minutes.
And one of Kentucky's neighboring states is now allowing recreational marijuana sales. More about if that can have an impact here in the Commonwealth coming up.